Reflets d'Afrique Télévision, le Flash Info, the Breaking News.
Good evening, dear televiewers. Welcome on the Flash Info on Reflets d'Afrique Television. 20 killed in attacks on several villages in western Niger. At least 20 people have been killed in attacks by unidentified gunmen on several villages in western Niger, according to a local official. Ibrahim Tijani Kejela, governor of the Tillaberi region, told National Radio on Sunday that the attacks were carried out by assailants on motorcycles who pillaged shops before heading north. He gave no further details. One local source news agency identified the villages as Gadabo, Zidane, Koirazeno and Zibanetegi. These are all administered by Anzuru, a commune some 50 kilometers from Teliberi city, near the three borders regions of Niger, Burkina Faso and Mali, where fighters linked to the Al-Qaeda and the ISIL armed groups have strengthened their foothold, making swaths of the arid Sahel area ungovernable. The security situation in the region has rapidly deteriorated in recent years, despite the presence of a growing number of military forces, including the French-led Operation Bagani, United Nations troops, and the G5 Sahel forces. Last January, Niger authorities restricted motorcycle traffic in a bid to crack down on fighters operating in the region and closed down a number of food markets they said were supplying terrorists with fuel and cereals, according to the governor. The government recently extended a state of emergency in the region, first brought in 3 years ago. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned last week that hardline armed groups in the Sahel are exploiting the coronavirus pandemic to step up attacks and for propaganda purposes. The UN chief urged better coordination among the forces fighting an array of armed groups. Djibouti authorities postponed easing of COVID-19 restrictions until May 17. Government of the Djibouti reversed decision to ease COVID-19 restrictions and extend measures until May 17 following government directives. The government of Djibouti reversed a decision to incrementally ease restrictions put in place to reduce the spread of the coronavirus disease, which was earlier announced on Sunday, May 10. According to authorities, the restrictions will be extended for at least another week through Sunday, May 17. Prime Minister Abdulkader Kamil Mohammed stated that conditions had not yet been met to relax existing measures, despite a few hours later and announcing that Monday, May 11, public transport will resume and places of worship may reopen, amongst others, relaxation of restrictions. Lockdown measures have been in place since Monday, March 23. Under these measures, only those working in essential industries are permitted to leave their homes. Schools and shops not providing essential services have been closed. Commercial flights to and from Djibouti were suspended on Wednesday, March 18, and all borders were closed on March 23. These measures are due to remain in place even after other restrictions begin to be relaxed. As of May 10, health authorities have recorded 1,189 confirmed cases of COVID-19 with 3 associated deaths. Further international spread of the virus is expected over the coming days and weeks. Cameroon mayor of Malfait allegedly killed by Ambazonia fighters. The mayor of Malfait, a locality in Mayo division, southwest region of Cameroon, was on Sunday, May 10, brutally shot to death by armed men, sources said. Mayor Princely Ojong Ashu was shot and killed around his native Eshobi, some 8 kilometers away from Murphy, where he was visiting for outreach activities. Those circumstances surrounding his death are not yet clear. Some sources say his convoy was attacked as he was heading to the village to donate items in the fight against COVID-19. However, sources close to the family say he was heading to the village supposedly to receive Ambazonia separatist fighters who had dropped their weapons before he was brutally murdered, while the soldiers who were accompanying him were injured. Armed separatist fighters in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon have declared an open war to local elected authorities who took in the February 9 legislative and municipal elections, describing them as traitors. In March, half a dozen councillors of Okubui division in the northwest region were ambushed by separatist fighters, while another local elected official of the Noir Council was killed. Over 2 weeks ago, soldiers successfully rescued the newly elected mayor of Mbengui Momo division, who had spent weeks in captivity. The upsurge of violence in Cameroon's English-speaking regions follows an announcement by the government to begin a plan to reconstruct these regions ravaged by over 3 years of fighting. Still in Cameroon, COVID-19, Konsamba receives gifts from the head of state. Placed under the coordination of the subdivision of Konsamba 1, Gaba Bakari, and 2 Yunfili Hamid, his ceremony was presided over by Yves Bertrand Njana, divisional officer of the Mungo department, surrounded by his close collaborators. Organized respectively at the esplanade of the municipal circle of Konsamba 1 and the subdivision of the city of Two Mountains, the ceremony of distribution of special gifts of the head of state Pobia was inscribed in the fight against COVID-19 in Cameroon in general and in the communes of Mungo in particular, notably those of Konsamba 1 and 2. In his speech, El Adi Umaru, mayor of Konsamba, first took advantage to his speech to address to representatives of the administration with thanks of the populations of the department of Mungo and those of Konsamba 1 and 2, to the Cameroonian head of state for his special support in the crusade against COVID-19 led by the populations of these localities. This is all for today, dear viewers. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned on Reflets d'Afrique Télévision. Our programs are ongoing.
Reflets d'Afrique Télévision, le Flash Info, the Breaking News.